Okay, I'm going to challenge you to give the students of America something to talk about, because when you teach them A equals 1/2 base times height, I'm just not convinced they go home at night and talk about that over the dinner table. Well, we could talk about the statistics of them having dinner with their families, but that's beside the point. We're going to count the elephants. Yes, I'm big into elephants this evening in Zakouma Park, and that would be in Chad, Africa. Here's an example where you can engage students in proportional reasoning. I aerial counted the elephants in Africa. In May 2008, though, I know that they had anti-poaching efforts because that's a big problem in Zakouma Park. We are going to ask our students, are these efforts having an effect on the elephant population? Yes, I've been spending the last year writing a lot of curriculum that's specifically trying to tie mathematics to really real-world examples written right out of the National Geographic. Here is proportional reasoning and other sources. Proportional reasoning, we can graph it. We can say, is this a linear function, a nonlinear function? The challenge is to approach students with algebra and make it accessible to all students. Well, if you actually talk to them within a context, I contend that they can understand whether something's decreasing at the same rate or is not, linear versus nonlinear. And then we go on to the hotel chain. Whoever knew that quartic functions could actually have a purpose that you could explain to high school students? So here we have trends in nightly hotel rates. This is all data I searched long, wide, and far to find using the internet, and this is actual real data of hotel rates for Baltimore, Charlotte, and Milwaukee for no specific reason. I just chose those 3 cities. If you take that data and you do some regression, you will actually find that all 3 are truly quartic functions. Now, this would truly give our students something to talk about. When we see all 3 of the functions superimposed or put on the same axis, there's clearly a dip after September 11th. The nightly hotel rates increase again as people begin to travel more, and they fall again after the economy. But and now the growth of the Redboxes. Okay, Redbox, the famous DVD kiosk that we see, it was started in the McDonald's chain in Denver, actually, was the pilot. Good job, Denver people. In 2004, again, I'm challenging you this evening, and I've challenged myself to try to embrace the NCTM connection standard and make more real connections for our students so that they will actually be talking about mathematics outside of the math classroom. Redboxes everywhere. Is it exponential? Is it quadratic? It actually appears to be quadratic. You can do a discussion of why it was growing exponentially at first, and then it seemed like the rate of change slowed down a bit. Is that quite common in the business world? We could investigate using some other data. So I'm just going to challenge you again to try to look and search for other data that you could pull into your classroom to give students good questions that they would actually engage in. In my personal opinion, they would talk about the red boxes outside of the classroom. And did you know an elephant's ears are about 1/6 the size of its entire body? And did you know the ears of the Savanna subspecies of the African elephants are more triangular or trapezoidal? This is a middle school topic students can approach. The ears of the forest subspecies are rounder. Okay, so now I'm looking at this elephant, I'm superimposing a triangle and a trapezoid, and I'm saying, hey, do we think that this particular subspecies is of the savanna, triangular or trapezoidal? Or do we think it's actually of the forest subspecies? Are the ears more circular? And the question is, all right, after you've made a conclusion, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. Tell me, why do you think the ears of an African elephant are more triangular or trapezoidal if they live in the savanna versus circular? Again, a good conversation about perimeter with the blood vessels going around the exterior of the ears. Okay. So I'm just going to challenge you again to give them something to talk about. When all you show them is y equals ax squared plus b, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, if you only show them symbolism, I'm wondering if that's a conversation starter for the evening dinner table or with their friends as they walk out of class, as opposed to the elephant the Holiday Inn, and all of the other topics that we looked at this evening. Here's just another piece of data that I found about the number of doctors, the supply and demand of doctors in the United States. Very easy to just take this little paragraph and turn it into a number and operation type of a presentation.